Hello, wonderful viewers. Thanks for joining me for another on-the-fly car reading. There are a few things going on, so I just wanted to kind of check in and pull some cards and see what's going on. Well, Roger Stone may get a lighter sentence thanks to Bill Barr, who is working on behalf of Donald Trump to decrease his sentence. That's ridiculous, everybody. It's freaking everybody out. So here's my conversation with Spirit. Spirit, should we be freaked out? I think we should be freaked out. Spirit keeps saying, no, don't be freaked out. Don't be freaked out. So let's pull some cards on this. Okay, because it's very concerning. But we've got the Eight of Wands. It's one thing among many. Yes, it is it not? We know that. And then we have the Four of Wands. Okay. Lots of shenanigans at the White House is what I'm getting. But judgment falls. Okay, so there's the Judgment card. So there are a lot of concerns about this, though, too. And a lot of brouhaha. I keep coming back to thank God for our free press. You know, people can talk. We can talk about this and how concerning this is. The corruption of the Justice Department and the AG. You know, because what else is it called? If he can, at the behest of the president, interfere in a case and interfere with federal sentencing guidelines. And, you know, as people say, people could have issue with federal sentencing guidelines and think they're too harsh or too draconian or what have you. But the whole thing about the law is the impartiality of the law is part of a democracy. Not just, you can't just decide it's too harsh for this person, but it's fine for that one, especially if they don't have an attorney, then it's really fine for them. You know, we already have problems with that. So I'm looking at these cards, and it just means judgment falls. It's one of many things happening right now. Spirit, what should we do about this when our head is just spinning with all of the challenges to our Constitution and our democracy? What should we do with all that? Well, we should have some faith in the rule of law with the Emperor. Okay, but it is okay to have outrage about it with that card. It is okay to have some moral outrage about these things and to speak about them. That is all right. Strengthen the laws. That's all right. To strengthen the laws, reinforce them, learn about them. Okay. What else? Yes, speak out. Speak. Don't quit speaking. That's what I'm hearing. Because really, that is our defense at this point, is our free press. Because so much else has been undermined. And we had the Senate just completely give up their power and give him a pass. So, Spirit, I have heard from you, Spirit, that they will regret it. The Republican senators will regret not having impeached him, not having removed him from office. What does that mean? Knight of Swords. Oh, and I apologize for my nails. I didn't have time to touch them up today. Knight of Cups, Knight of Cups. Okay. Nine of Cups. That's Trump. Okay. New beginning. Oh, okay. Well, that just simply means they're going to have a harder time manipulating their way out of that. They're going to try really hard to put a good spin on it, but Trump is not going to help their political careers. I think new beginning means that just gives him more power. That gives him more power, and it doesn't really help them. Death. Ooh, there it is. That's what I keep saying. Like, they're going to get voted out more because of that. They're going to pay the price for that. Trump won't pay the price for that. They're going to pay the price for that. So I do keep hearing that. Okay, so they will live to regret that decision. Maybe not for the right reasons, but they live to regret that decision. Okay, Spirit, what else? Oh, I did. Okay, so now I did that reading on Bloomberg and his race. But, of course, I did the reading a day before a big story came out. I actually did it the night before I posted it on YouTube. That there was audio of him with his erroneous ideas underlying stop and frisk, and he just was so mistaken. You know, I see that's the thing. When people don't know how to read stats and they don't realize just because the stats are the result of the people imprisoned and racial bias went into pulling them over, searching them, charging them, convicting them, that all those things. So then we do have greater numbers of people of color in prison, but that doesn't mean that we had greater numbers of these people of color perpetrating these acts. In fact, the research would suggest otherwise. So he was not understanding that, and he was saying racist things, that this was justifying his stop and frisk in certain areas of it, and profiling, really. And that was so disappointing to hear that. Of course, I mean, if a person dug anybody who was part of that stop and frisk, that, I guess that's a lesson to us. If we think that unconstitutional things are only happening now, well, they've happened before. I mean, that's unreasonable search and seizure, right? So tragic policy stop and frisk was. Has Bloomberg learned anything since then about that, or is he just giving lip service to having learned something? Ace of coins. Yeah. 8 of cups. Oh, I did that one. I pulled the same one. Ace of coins. 7 of swords. I don't know that he's genuinely learned a lot about it. That means. And in fact, it may be a problem for him politically. Okay, well, I just wanted to check in on that. That reading felt incomplete that I didn't check in on that. All right. Yeah. Gosh, we still have so much more to learn. Well, a lot of people understand about implicit bias and how that works, but there are lots of folks, and unfortunately lots of law enforcement professionals, who do not understand about that and need a lot of education. All right, Spirit. Speaking of the criminal justice system, will there be any kind of reform in the coming years on sentences that are maybe draconian, or on problems with, people who don't have attorneys, getting the public defender who then encourages them to plead, that kind of thing? We have that kind of thing, as if it's a big, huge issue for a lot of families. We have the Knight of Wands, so kind of held up, but we should have hope, not during this administration, but we should have hope for future administrations. Okay, yeah, an opportunity is given and taken up in future administrations. Okay, good. So there may be some things done to remedy these situations, these inequities in our justice system. All right, Spirit. Well, okay, I wanted to share something with you guys that I've been hearing from Spirit, which is that if the senators didn't take Trump out, Spirit may. And I don't mean his life would end. I mean with his cognitive decline. I mean, we just keep noticing it seems to be getting worse. And he may become weaker and less effectual as time goes on. So there's a moment, a ray of hope I wanted to pass on. And another one was, I was talking to Spirit, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? He's still, he seems heck bent on doing whatever he can get away with now that he was not removed from office. And I heard, you act as if he's in charge. So in other words, presidents have their limitations on how much they can actually accomplish. All right, so I'll leave you with that. And I'm sorry for the wiggliness of the camera. I'm kind of trying to hold it here. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.